Hello. There we go. Good lord. That was rough. Okay, so let's go back to everything I just discussed. Yeah, so my mic was not working right there. So basically, what's up, guys? This live stream is going to be a decently long one. It could be up to 2.5 hours at most. We're gonna go over some weather briefing of models, especially the European and GFS models, showing a potential uptick in severe weather in the coming weeks. They're going crazy. I'll show you these models in a little bit. I'm not on par with them yet, but I guess we'll see. And of course, we have the bomb cyclone slash snow cane. That's going to be off the coast, the Atlantic coast. Could be up to a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane strength intensity. Out here in the outer banks of North Carolina, we could see wind gusts up to 80 to 90 miles an hour and blinding snow. Could see blizzard warnings in effect near King Devil Hills and Beaufort. So, definitely going to pay attention to that. We could see some Gulf effect snow out there in Tampa later this stream as well. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting stream. We got a lot to talk about in this stream, so let's just get to it, I guess. So as you can see in the bottom left, I'm gonna go to the second camera for that. It is snowing on this camera right here near Knoxville, Tennessee. It's hard to see, but it is snowing. You can see kind of the fogginess in the distance. And we do have a camera in Knoxville, actually, that is showing some decent snow out there. Right here, you can see it is showing snow out there in Knoxville, Tennessee. Gulf effect snow is ridiculous. That's for sure. Gulf effect snow is something I never thought I'd say in my life. So, yeah. But it is snowing here in Knoxville, Tennessee. First things first, we're going to kind of talk about the severe weather potential in the coming weeks around early to mid-February. And after that, we're going to talk about the bomb cyclone. And after that, we're going to discuss some of the Gulf effect snow that could happen in Florida. And last thing is going to be kind of covering if this bomb cyclone develops fast enough out here off the Atlantic coast. If it develops fast enough, then we will start talking about it on stream. And the stream could go from bomb cyclone and severe weather briefing into bomb cyclone coverage. So, winter storm coverage. So, I guess we'll see. No, not Southeast Michigan. Southeast Michigan, you are getting nothing but snow for the next month, probably. But yeah, so way too cold in Southeast Michigan. So we're gonna start in probably about 3 minutes. I want to go over some of the warnings we have in effect right now. Let me go over here to otherwise. All right. This is weather-wise. This shows a lot more like warnings than what I have on. You can see the low pressure system cyclone. That was a crazy stutter. Low pressure system cyclone is going to form around here. And you can see we have a lot of warnings. We got some extreme cold warnings and freeze warnings in effect. Out here in North Carolina, guys, we do have a shelter-in-place warning. This is very concerning. It says, following message is transmitted at the request of Dare County Emergency Management. State of emergency for upcoming winter storm. So, out here, where these shelter-in-place warnings are in effect, we could see winds up to 80 miles an hour, as well as blinding snow. And when the winter storm itself does form, we could see some blizzard warnings issued in this region. So we're definitely going to pay attention to that. But we currently got some winter storm warnings all the way from eastern Tennessee all the way onto the Atlantic coast, North Carolina, South Carolina. We got extreme cold warnings, cold weather advisories in effect. high wind warnings and coastal flood statements on the Atlantic coast near the Outer Banks. And we also have storm warnings right off the coast, which is for gusts up to 65 knots and 17 feet of not storm surge, but waves. 12 to 17 foot tall waves could be a possibility on this in the storm warning. And going further out to sea, you can see right along the Outer Banks coast, I mean literally right near, we currently have hurricane force wind warnings. For seas given a significant wave height, which is the average. North winds of 55 to 65 knots. That is what is possible within this hurricane force wind warning off the coast. So yeah, guys, we're gonna definitely probably stream this event whenever it occurs. On WeatherWise, we got some new updates here. I'm not even on WeatherWise. Why is this not working? This is so frustrating, bro. This is stupid. Anyways, we got some extreme cold warnings and winter storm warnings here on North Carolina, South Carolina, guys. We got some winter storm warnings and extreme cold warnings. We also got some extreme cold watches out there in central North Carolina. Further onto the coast, we have a shelter-in-place warning, guys. This means do not leave your house. If you have already, get as far away from the shore as you can. We got coastal flood warnings, high wind warnings. We got storm warnings out here in the Outer Banks for winds up to 65 knots. We also have hurricane force wind warnings for winds up to 65 knots and 12 to 17 foot tall waves off the coast. Another good thing that WeatherWise added, guys, is we have traffic cameras. I will in a little bit. Tengi, I will in a little bit. Anyways, now on WeatherWise, we have traffic cameras, guys. Look at this. We can just click on one right here. We got them in only certain states, though, but look, we do got traffic cameras, which is going to be very nice. We got them in Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, Kansas, and Minnesota. Going to be very nice to use these during storm season. Obviously, of course, we have our virtual rail fans, Oklahoma City cameras, and HazCams. So now we got that all done, let me go back to the first tab. Alright. So, let me see what we got. Alright, here we go. I say we go into the models, guys. I say that it's time to go into the models. We're going to start off with the GFS, guys. This is going to be a pretty concerning look, in my opinion, on how this is setting up. $500 millibars. Let me see. Yeah, it still shows it. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be snowing in Florida. What's up, Ryan? So, guys, this is the GFS model here. What we got going on is we don't really got much going on, actually. As of now, this is going to be our bomb cyclone right here as it moves off into the ocean. But as we go along, you will see Alright, Carson, sounds good. But you can see as we go ahead, we do get some decent troughs beginning to form out there in the Pacific, and they do move on to land in America. And you'll see how this trough in particular, right over here, will work its way on to into Mexico, and it'll begin to deepen rapidly, and it'll slam the Gulf Coast basically. And right here is another major one, which could cause actually a potential for a severe weather outbreak out there in the Gulf Coast area could cause a potential severe weather outbreak out there, actually. Going back to 12Z models, you can see it actually showed it a lot better. 12Z models really showed in the GFS. This is the GFS model. 12Z model actually really showed this event forming. You can see right there, look at that. It showed a monster negatively tilted trough impacting the Dixie Alley region right there. Look at that. It's a mothership of a trough right there. You can see how it really evolves. It takes on, it's positively tilted right here, but you can see how it really begins to take on that negative tilt and slams the Dixie Alley region at a very negatively tilted trough. So, the reason why it's called a bomb cyclone is because it drops 24 millibars in 24 hours. Bomb cyclones are called that whenever they are dropped 24 millibars of pressure in a 24-hour period. This one will most likely drop around 30 to 35 millibars in a 24-hour period, but that's why they're called bomb cyclones. They bomb out, basically. But this is a GFS. I mean, over here, 112 knots of flow. And going on to the dew point, if it'll work. Why is this so slow? I'm never forgetting Winter Storm Fern. Never will I forget that, that's for sure. Man, why is this taking so long to load? Here we go, dew point. This better load. Alright, here we go, guys. So this was the 12Z GFS. You're not crazy. This was the 12Z GFS. And you can see right around the time that trough hits, look at that, guys. We get some very high dew points out there along the Dixie Alley region and the Gulf Coast. You can see dew points into the mid to high 60s out there in Louisiana. I mean, we got 67 dew points, 64 dew points, 62 dew points in Memphis. I mean, we got 60s dew points going all the way up into southern Missouri from this, and you can see how it just disappears from that cold front. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting how this is going to evolve to see if this even stays. Oh, it's hanging. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Again, this is like 380 hours out, so never trust what this shows. Never trust anything. Well, never trust the GFS in general, but never trust anything after 200 hours out. 18Z kind of got rid of that a little bit, but you can still see how a little bit of Gulf moisture is brought up. Around 60s dew points in New Orleans. But again, the 18Z did kind of get rid of that a little bit, so I guess we'll see. But the one thing that hasn't gotten rid of it is the European, guys. Remember yesterday how I was talking about on stream, 12Z model yesterday? How it was showing like a genuine, like, huge monster negatively tilted trough impacting the Great Plains? Well, it's still showing that, guys. This was yesterday. This is what I looked at yesterday while on stream. Right there. Remember that, guys? This is what I looked at on stream. I thought it was the craziest thing I've ever seen on a model. And I mean, it is, but moving on to 0Z from this morning. This is 0Z earlier this morning. And you can see how it still maintained that trough, but it kind of like started spamming troughs. That was a trough before it. That was supposed to be the original trough right there. And that was going to be another trough. But this one right here was going to be the original trough. And it maintained that negatively tilted trough, guys. Like, it still maintained that. Moving on to 12Z today. And you'll see, it really brings back that monster negatively tilted trough in the Great Plains. Look at that, right there. It still maintained it, guys. It maintained that trough. So, I'm starting to think about it more, I mean, it's maintained this negatively tilted trough in the Great Plains for 24 hours now. So it's just something to watch for. Going to surface of precipitation, go to precipitation type. It doesn't really show much, but it does show there's a chance that something could happen. I mean, you can see, it actually shows more than I thought. You can see some little baby, what looks like little baby supercells out there, possibly in the Great Plains ish. Possibly some low precipitation supercells. Not too much to look for as of now, but it's just something to keep an eye on, considering this has stayed for the past 24 hours. These troughs are getting stronger and stronger every year. Going to the GFS, the latest model does show a decent severe weather risk. This is the trough I was talking about. This is the GFS, but it does show the potential for a decent severe weather risk around the time of the trough, around 350 hours out. It does show a trough hitting on February 14th, so on Valentine's Day. So I don't know, something to watch for. I'm not too concerned about it as of now, but let's go back to 12Z and see what 12Z showed. Yeah, here's 12Z. 12Z showed a little bit stronger of a trough in general and a little bit more widespread of a potential severe weather outbreak, but it also showed a pretty large ice storm hitting me in here in Ohio. Going over back to the European model, and I don't know if it really showed much. It shows a little bit. It does show a little bit. The European model. Going back to the 0Z from this morning, don't know if it showed really anything, but nah, not really. 0Z from this morning on the European didn't really show much. But then yesterday, 12Z yesterday did show quite a bit of stuff. Whenever it showed this. Yeah. It's definitely too far out. Really too far out to be even trying to assume anything. I don't know. I'm just, like I'm saying, it's something to watch for. You never know. But just some stuff to watch for. Again, the European does show, the European and GFS both agree on a trough hitting around February 14th. And the European actually does show quite a bit of severe weather out there down in the Dixie Alley region. Shows more aggressive of a severe weather threat than the European, than the GFS shows, my bad. The European shows more aggressive of severe weather potential than the GFS does, but we'll just have to pay attention. I want to move on to the HRRR and kind of talk about our potential bomb cyclone. Actually, not our potential, but our likely bomb cyclone. Look at this. This is the 12Z model from today. I'm going to use this one because it goes the furthest out of any, and you can really see this thing develop off the coast. I mean, it drops down to 976 millibars, and it's not going to slow down after that. I think this thing could genuinely drop down to like 965 millibars. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Going over to upper air, and we go to 850 millibars, which is just off the surface. And you can really see, this thing looks like a hurricane. This thing literally looks like a hurricane developing, guys. Look at that. This looks crazy. It literally looks like a hurricane developing off the coast. I mean, it's basically is like a hurricane, guys. It's gonna have hurricane force winds. It's not a tropical hurricane technically, but it is pretty darn close to one, guys. Like, I genuinely think that this thing could reach Category 2 to Category 3 hurricane intensity with snow. So, Outer Banks definitely could see some blinding snow. I mean, we got like 93 knot flow at 850 millibars. But yeah, so definitely insane. I want to go over what the NAM shows. The NAM goes down to 925 millibars, so we're going to use that. Yeah, it has, Carson. Definitely lowered it, but we'll just have to see. I mean, dude, the NAM shows it getting a lot. The NAM shows it not getting quite as strong, but shows it moving faster. But it shows it staying more away from the coast than the H4R does. So we're gonna have to see what's actually gonna happen because the closer this thing is to the coast, the more snow the Carolinas are gonna get. But the further away from the coast, obviously, the less snow they're gonna get. So it's definitely gonna be something to watch for. Um, Going over to precipitation type. Let's go over here to reflectivity, and this is for the NAM. And you can see, look at all that snow out there in the Carolinas, dude. That is crazy. Yeah, NAM shows it getting down to at least 966 millibars. NAM shows it getting insanely strong. The NAM actually shows three different low pressure systems developing. I don't know about that, but you can see right there as one developing right there, 1,011 millibars. And then one right there, 997, and that one drops down to like that one like moves off to the northeast, and it looks like a secondary low develops behind it. And that's the one that really bombs out into like the 960s. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. We could see like a little Fujiwara effect occur, which basically will allow this storm to get pulled more out to sea quicker, which will allow for a lot less snowfall totals there in the Carolinas. But I don't know, guys. It's gonna be interesting to see. That's for sure. I'll definitely cover the storm, but it's gonna be an interesting one. I don't honestly know snow totals as of now. It's very, very hard to pinpoint the snow totals when it comes to the storm because any single shift that this storm does could change its entire trajectory. I honestly don't know, Carson. I kind of just use Microsoft Edge because why not? Microsoft Edge ain't too bad in my opinion, so that's why I use it a little bit. I actually want to go over back to the models and look for next Wednesday. So I feel like next Wednesday could still do something. I mean, the GFS does show like um a trough that moves in. GFS does show a trough that moves in. I'm gonna see what it looks like on 500 millibars. It is a little baby shortwave trough, but actually might have some negative tilt to it. Like I'm not gonna lie. That little trough right there. You see that? That little like baby trough right there? It is negatively tilted. Which does mean a lot more moisture could be brought up. I just think it might be too cold. I'm gonna look for dew points. Let me look at dew points. I mean, dew points are gonna get into the upper 50s there and low 60s in Texas. Further north you go, obviously the less. But I mean, out there in Alabama, Mississippi, dew points are only gonna be in the 40s. So I don't see much of, if any, tornado threat for next Wednesday. I think if anything, it would be just a damaging wind threat. Savannah, Georgia on Wednesday. Let me go over here to precipitation type. Yeah, I mean there's a little threat severe weather out there in Savannah. At least the GFS shows that. I don't know if the European shows yet, but the GFS shows this going offshore and turning into basically a bomb cyclone again. And then it also shows a huge storm hitting the northeast, and then another bomb cyclone. I mean, that one could be intense. GFS shows that one reaching into the low 950s, upper 950 millibars. Oh, I check the models all the time in school. I'm so much of a weather nerd that I literally signed in to my actual Windows account on my laptop at school and watched videos about weather in study hall. Like, I'm so much of a geek with weather, dude. I always watch weather videos or just look at model trends during study hall or in my classes. Math class, I've gotten yelled at before because I was literally just watching Max Velocity. I was watching Max Velocity in math class last year, and my teacher yelled at me. You know what I did? Told him I'll stop, and then I kept watching Max Velocity. Anyways, let's go over to the European, and I want to see what the European shows. And European shows the trough too. The European shows the trough as well, but there's a lot less of a severe risk. It just looks more like a rain threat, so damaging rain threat for what this looks like. So, I don't know. We're just gonna keep an eye on it. Good golly, this bomb cyclone is crazy. But just looks like mostly a rain threat from what I've seen so far. I want to go to the GFS 18Z. GFS 18Z actually does show more of a severe weather threat than before. Could see some storms out there in Tampa too, but it does show a little more of a severe weather threat on February 4th at 12Z, down there in like southern Mississippi and northeast Louisiana. Something to watch for. Shows Savannah, Georgia getting basically nothing though at that point. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. The European does also agree though on a bomb cyclone hitting around February 8th. And then, of course, that huge severe weather threat is what... This is the GFS, actually. This is the 18C GFS, by the way, guys. Whatever I said European, I meant GFS. Once again, the GFS shows the bomb cyclone and shows a large severe weather threat out there near February 12th. Out there in Dixie Alley region. Tangy said hell. Well, that's fun. Yeah, anyways. Oh no, I'm not too sold on that severe weather threat next Wednesday. I'm not too sold on it yet. I don't really know if that's gonna happen. It's a little interesting of a setup, in my opinion. It doesn't really look like too promising of a setup. Hello, Tangy. I think you meant to say hello, but you're good. 500 millibars. It doesn't look like too promising of a setup. It's literally just like a shortwave trough that does it right there. You can see a little baby shortwave trough is what kind of gets the moisture up and running. I don't know if it's going to be enough forcing, though, to initiate storms. I mean, there is an open warm sector that's going to form, but I don't know if there's enough initiation of storms because that shortwave trough doesn't have enough force, I don't think. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I guess we'll see if there's actually going to be a severe weather setup or not going on, but I mean, temperature dew point spread is going to be interesting. There's no cape at all, though. That's the thing. There's going to be no cape at all during that environment, so I'm not sold on that yet. Whenever something actually gets a little more concerning, I'll actually start worrying about it maybe, or start even thinking about it. I'm not really thinking too much though about this potential Wednesday threat. Might be like a general thunderstorm risk or something like that, but I don't think there's gonna be too much with it. Honestly, guys, I don't think there's gonna be too much with it. It's just a little shortwave trough that could initiate some thunderstorms. That's all. I mean, only thing I'd really support a risk at all for is just damaging winds, like a 5% damaging wind risk out there. And like, let me go hop on here onto. Um, I clicked X. I'd really only support like a damaging wind threat out here in like that area maybe for damaging winds moving to the southeast, but that's about it. I'd say like 5% ish. I might get like a white color going actually. Yeah. I'd only support probably 5% damaging wind threat, and that'd probably be it. I mean, I guess we'll keep an eye on it. If it uptrends a little bit, I'll let you guys know, but next Wednesday I wouldn't really expect too much. Yeah, not much severe weather related going on. What the heck? 18Z GFS shows a like huge storm hitting towards the end of the month. Not the end of the month. February 15th shows a pretty large severe weather risk actually. I don't believe this at all, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, that's the freaking negatively tilted trough I'm talking about. Yeah, 18Z GFS shows like a neutral to negatively tilted trough, but 380 hours out, yeah, no, don't trust that at all. The only one I trust as of now, I don't even trust it, but it's something I would consider a little bit, is just the European showing the huge trough in the plains that could cause some severe weather and all, but even then, it's still 300 hours out. I wouldn't really even take a gander at that. As of now, the only really severe weather risk, guys, is a chance for possibly some pop up thunderstorms out there in the Dixie Valley region on Wednesday. Um, Out in this area on Wednesday. But that's the only thing I'm really thinking about at all. Not really expecting too much. I mean, it's just going to be a short wave. There's not going to be a lot of forcing at all for that event, guys. Like zero forcing, basically. There's no cape in the environment either. Yeah. Guess we'll just see if the 0Z GFS sticks with that at all. Anyways, how's your guys' day going? I haven't seen you guys since yesterday, so how's your guys' day going? Oh yeah, for sure, Carson. The Great Plains are going to be popping off this summer, not summer, this spring, I think. So definitely something to watch for. Yeah, it's true, Tangy. It's going okay, good. That's good, guys. That is good. My day's been good too. I'm just a little bit tired. I'll be right back though, guys. 60-second break. Alright, I'm back. Told you guys, only 60-second break. No, I do not have a Discord server. I'm thinking about making one eventually, but I don't fully know yet. I'm not fully sold on doing it. I want to go over here to weather-wise, because this is something interesting. I forgot to show this, but I'm going to show it now. The HRRR does show some Gulf effect snow, guys. You go to the 22Z. Look at that, guys. That's Gulf effect snow right over there. Some Gulf effect snow. That's some potential Gulf effect snow, guys. Look at that. See those little bands over there? That's potential Gulf effect snow. That could happen out there in Florida. It's hard to believe, I know, but it could happen, guys. We could see Gulf effect snow. If you're out there in Tampa, keep an eye out, guys. Could see some Gulf effect snow. This is PA Storm Trackers. We're going to stay on them for a second. Alright. Models on Pivotal Weather, I guess. Here we go. Let me go over here to the HRRR. There we go. You guys see it? Let me zoom in on that. Look at that little Gulf effect snow, guys. You see that? Whoa, I'm lost. Where is this at? When is this? This is tomorrow at 11Z, guys. Tomorrow at 11Z. Dude, okay. Whatever. Let me zoom out. This is stupid. I can't go to the Florida map. It's not how it works. Guys, zoom in on your phone on Florida. Let's just zoom in on your phone towards Florida. Do that. Here, zoom in on your phone on Florida, and you'll see the Gulf effect snow. Look at that, guys. Gulf effect snow bands. Look at that. You can see it, too. Because we could literally see some Gulf effect snow out of the Tampa Bay. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, guys, this HRRR does show some Gulf effect snow. Let me go over to the NAM. See what the NAM 3 case shows. Yeah, the NAM shows nothing. The NAM doesn't show it. The NAM's being poopy. It's being a party pooper. Yeah, so the NAM does not show Gulf effect snow, but guys, it could happen. Could see Gulf effect snow in Florida. And if that happens, we will be live for it. Back to PA Storm Tracker as we go. Yeah, climate change is changing everything. Look at this beautiful sunset out here, guys. This is in La Plata, Missouri. It's very beautiful. See what Vince Walty is looking at. Here we go. This is Vince. He is on 64 heading towards the Outer Banks. Yeah, there's not much to really look at, but... Oh yeah, it's definitely going to snow in the Bahamas eventually. There's always... It has snowed in the Bahamas before, but it'll snow there again probably sometime. Within the next 10 years, it probably will. Vince is currently heading to the Outer Banks. These next few days, he can get up to 80-mile-an-hour winds and blinding snow. Should be fun. Oh, it basically is a hurricane. It's basically a hurricane in January, but it's not very tropical. I mean, it's tropical. It's not really a hurricane because it's snow. It's a snow cane, I guess. But I mean, it's gonna be a hurricane in terms of wind speeds. We're gonna get like wind speeds up to 100 miles an hour in the core of this thing, or the eye wall of it. Is he cleaning out his car? Yes, he is. Vince is cleaning his car, I think. Never mind, I don't know what he's doing. I don't really know what he's doing. Yeah, that's true, Tangy. Technically was. I think he's turning around. Yeah, he's turning around. Huh? No, he's not. What was that for then? He just pulled in there and then didn't do anything. That's interesting. Anyways. Well, I got 3 likes on today's stream. Can we get that to 5, guys? I'd really appreciate it if we get to 5 likes this stream. That'd be awesome. Tropical snowstorm is a good way to put it. It's a smart idea, Tangy. Tropical snowstorm. We got 3 of you guys watching. It's awesome. It's awesome, guys. Come on, we need 2 more likes to get to the like goal, guys. 5 likes. 5 likes is our goal. No, Tangy, that's not going to happen. We're not going to get a tropical snowstorm hit Michigan. And Michigan is nowhere near the ocean. Maybe a snowstorm or 2, yeah, but definitely not a tropical snowstorm. Thank you, Tangy. Thank you for saying that in chat. I appreciate it. Some dark forest that Vince is driving through. Let's see what PA Storm Trackers is looking at. They're like right along the coastline, basically. Yeah, they're right along the coastline. They're getting into position, guys. This is going to be a strong cyclone, that's for sure. We're good. I just dropped something. We're good. Alright. We're back. I mean, we're already getting snow. We are getting snow from this storm already, so I'll show you guys that real quick then. I mean, out here in Johnson City, Tennessee, this camera is down, but yeah, bombogenesis or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's what this is gonna go over. I mean, it's still snowing a little bit out here in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is actually going to be this. All of this right here is. Let me go to winter weather. Here we go. All of this right here is snow that's actually from this low pressure system that's developing. This low pressure is going to develop and move off to the northeast, and this snow right here is actually part of it, which is surging down like that, and then eventually it's going to get wrapped around the low pressure system. And all of this moisture out here is actually going to go into land, and whenever you mix moisture with cold, you're going to get a lot of snow all throughout this region. Well, more like throughout this region. We're going to get some snow. And mostly along this area up here, which is why Vince and PA Storm Trackers are there, is where we're going to get upwards of probably 80-mile-an-hour winds in this area, as well as up to a foot of snow. So, should be interesting, guys. Yeah, I know. Raleigh and Durham. Yeah. Durham is very, very small compared to Raleigh, but Raleigh might actually get, like, a lot less snow than expected. If you're, like, in this area, like that, like, in between these two lines, like, over here, you guys might actually get, like, noticeably less snow than areas around you, because we could have this area of the storm kind of pop off, this area of the storm pop off, but in between, there actually could be some dry air intrusions within this storm that could significantly lower snow totals. So we're going to pay attention to that and see if actually dry air does form in this area, but there is a pretty decent chance that it could. So we're going to definitely pay attention to that. Now that dry air ain't gonna feel like a desert. It's still gonna be absolutely freezing there. It's just, there's gonna be no snow. There's just gonna be like no snow. That's the thing. It's just like that dry air. It's gonna be snowing. Like it could be snowing up in the atmosphere, but that snow's not gonna reach the ground because there's just dry air. So that dry air will eventually rush away, but we'll have to see just how much of a toll it takes on Raleigh. Because if you really want snow in Raleigh, you might not get a lot of snow. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, Pete. That's because at the surface, um, cold air has definitely been rushing into this region. But sorry, I need to catch my breath. I just went downstairs. So when it comes to this, the roads are a lot warmer than the air is. So the snow will come down, but it just won't accumulate at all in that region. As we get into like tomorrow night and stuff and Sunday morning, a lot heavier snow will start rushing into the region, so then it'll start accumulating. Yeah, the Jersey Devil, it's Pete. That's his name. Over here, see what Vince is up to. I believe Vince is about to cross the one bridge. Moltangi, nice to meet you, Mark. I mean, I'm the weather warrior. My name's Tyler. My real name's Tyler. I feel like a lot of people know that my name's Tyler. I feel like you guys already know that, but I don't know. Weston knows my name's Tyler. But I don't know if you guys know. But yeah, my name's Tyler. I'm Tyler. I'm the weather warrior. Hey, Mark. Nice to meet you too. PA Storm Trackers is right by the ocean now. They're right along the Atlantic coast. This area is gonna get swallowed by some winds. Definitely gonna get some high winds here in this area where PA Storm Trackers currently is. We got any cameras out that way? I don't even know if we got cameras out that way. No, we got like no cameras there. I think they're ending stream. Yep, I remember that, Pete. Me and her broke up. She was accusing me of stuff I didn't do. She was treating me bad, so I broke up with her. But never been happier. Weather tornado season starting, dude. This is the happiest time of my life. Tornado season starting. I got all you guys to stream too. Dude, it's gonna be such a good season. This season's gonna be awesome. I'm trying to look for cameras on um virtual railfan. Whoa, some huge icicles on this one. I did have a girlfriend. Yeah, Vince is crossing the bridge now. Let's see if PA Storm Trackers are just done. Yeah, they're done. So PA Storm Trackers ended stream is now just Vince going over the bridge. Oh, yeah. That's sounds about right, Pete. Yeah. Yeah, this bridge is huge. I think I've driven on this bridge before. I don't fully know, but I believe I have. It's like a couple miles. Yo, we got 5 likes. Thank you guys so much for 5 likes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that water is dark. That water's real dark. I mean, he's only halfway through the bridge too. Actually, he's about to get on land. Never mind. I'm a little stupid. Um, let's look back over here in Johnson City. This camera's down. Let's look in Knoxville. Knoxville, it's probably still snowing. Yeah, it's still snowing out there in Knoxville. It's not really accumulating at all, but it's still snowing. It's getting colder. It's only 30 degrees now. Thanks, Pete. Really appreciate it. Look at DTX. Alright. There's nothing. There's nothing going on at DTX currently. I'm gonna look back at the GFS, dude. I don't know. I'm still deciding if this could actually be like a severe weather threat. I mean, because I mean, it's like the low pressure system itself is not very strong at all, so there's not gonna be a lot of forcing for ascent within the region. So I don't know. I'm still thinking if I showed it live the other day, I believe. Here, I'll use it again real quick. I'll go see. Let me see. Talking about this right here. I mean, that's Dallas, Texas up there on the horizon with a beautiful sunset. I used this camera on the other stream the other day, but yeah, that's Dallas, Texas up there. It's such a beautiful area. And there's Fort Worth really far off in the distance. You can see it up there, but it's very far off in the distance. That's Fort Worth. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about this, like, severe weather risk. I'm still thinking. Don't know yet if I'm fully on par with it. It could definitely be low end severe weather, that's for sure. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna excited to see how the models are gonna look tomorrow because I don't know. Because like it could definitely be a severe weather risk. It's just the forcing is not gonna be enough. It's like all it is some very very little shortwave. I mean it's there. I mean the trough itself is there. It's just not a big one, but there's still a chance of severe weather. But yeah, we definitely don't know yet. I'm just gonna keep an eye out. Any severe weather risk is a severe weather risk, so it's always good to keep an eye out, especially if it's a week out. I mean, we're less than a week out, so models should be a little more accurate on it. Yeah, I agree, Carson. Because I don't know, does the European show that? Yeah, I'd say probably a general thunderstorm risk as of now, but if it continues to uptrend a little bit, then I would go with a marginal, but just for wind though. Like, I'd say this could be a marginal risk for like a 5% wind risk at most. I mean, European shows the trough, it just doesn't show like it intense. It doesn't show a lot. It shows a lot of just rain, warm air, just warm air showers, kind of. I mean, what does when it comes to surface and precipitation, what does the dew point show for the European? This is the European's dew point. I mean, European does show dew points in like the mid to high 50s. What's up, Puffy Mations? Welcome. I mean, European shows dew points into the mid to high 50s, and GFS shows dew points more like into the the high 50s to low 60s. Actually, is kind of what GFS shows around the mid to high 50s, but some areas could get into the low 60s in dew points. And then of course we got the GFS doing the frickin' Jesus Christ, doing the fantasy runs out there. I mean, 500 millibars. Look at this, bro. Like, what even is this, bro? What even is this freaking huge negatively tilted trough? Yeah, let me look. This is the 18Z GFS. This is the CFS. GFS 18Z. Alright, this is the 18Z GFS. 18Z GFS still, yeah, I remember Puffy Mations when you met me. I was at 100. Yeah, I'm at 2,500 now. If you guys haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Get this out to more people. Um, I mean, 18Z GFS does show the storm still. It shows it actually weaker than before. Still shows it though, that's the thing. And then, good lord. 18, dude, freaking 340 hours out. The 18Z GFS right now is literally showing like a freaking derecho. Yeah, it's like literally showing a derecho in the Dixie Alley. Look at that. Forms out there near Tyler, Texas. It goes all the way through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, into Florida and Georgia, and then out to sea. Into South Carolina. It literally shows like a derecho. That's crazy. Yeah, that's true, Tangy. I'm gonna go message Weston about that. Yeah, that's interesting for sure. A freaking derecho. Oh no, derechos have happened a lot in February before, but yeah, it literally shows it going from Tyler, Texas, all the way off into the Atlantic. Like, that's crazy. What's 500 millibar winds even look like for that? Yeah, it is like a it is a negatively tilted trough. Nah, I'm not gonna get my phone number out right now. But yeah, it literally shows. I mean, it's a negatively tilted trough. It's 300 hours out, so I'm not gonna believe in anything. I just kind of think it's funny that it shows that. Friggin' derecho in it literally on Valentine's Day it shows a derecho on Valentine's Day. And then we got the European showing a huge negatively tilted trough in the plains. But yeah, I mean, most concerning thing right now is obviously the winter storm that's about to come this weekend. But other than that, the most concerning thing is probably just the chance for some severe weather next week. Little baby shortwave trough. I mean, yeah, just right here is probably the most concerning thing we got as of now. After this winter storm, most concerning thing we got is this little sneaky potential severe weather threat next week. But other than that, guys, we're not really talking about too much weather related as of now. Yeah, there's a chance Michigan could get buried by snow from that, but you never know. Well, I mean, we kind of covered everything I needed to cover this stream. We've already been live for almost an hour and a half. Been live for an hour and 47 minutes. Actually, an hour and 17 minutes. See what Vince is up to. Vince is still driving. I think I'm gonna end stream soon, guys. I mean, we don't really got much else currently. Yeah, I agree, Puffy Missions, but we're good. Ryan Scholl is live too, but he's just chilling in Boone, North Carolina. That's interesting. So, I mean, we're not really gonna pay attention to Ryan Scholl as of now, but I mean, I covered basically everything. We got this huge bomb cyclone on the table this weekend, and I mean, um, just a little potential for some sneaky severe weather next week, and that's about all. Next Wednesday, but yeah, guys, with that, I think I'm gonna end stream. Really appreciate all you guys watching. Just pay attention. Weather is gonna get active. We are going into spring in the next month. We're a month away from meteorological spring, so it's only going to get more active from here, guys. It's only going to get more active from here. With that, though, I really appreciate all you guys watching. Stay safe. I just fumbled that right there. Holy crap. With that, stay safe out there. I'll see you all in the